As a member of the Agua Dulce community, do you solemnly swear and commit to fulfill your leadership role of the Agua Dulce Town Council?
I do.
As an Agua Dulce community member, you pledge to serve the residents of the area, take a leadership role in all you do, and uphold community ideals. Do you pledge to be a responsible, forthright, dedicated, and honest member of the Agua Dulce Town Council, listening to all community ideas and concerns?
I do.
As Supervisor Antonovich's senior deputy for the Santa Clarita Valley, I charge you to uphold the principle and the spirit of the words you have just spoken.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the first office that we're looking for nominations is the office of president.
I'll make a move for nomination. I nominate Don Henry.
I second that.
You have nominations?
Sorry, what?
Any other nominations?
What office is oh, for this office
For president.
I think by consensus, Don shall be president.
Thank you very much. I'm honored. I thought Lou was going to throw his hat in the ring there.
Too much works.
Next up, we have secretary. I nominate Mary.
Second.
I move the nomination to be closed. Anyone who second the nomination to be closed? If that's the case, I believe that being the case, Mary is duly elected as the new secretary. Thank you very much. Treasurer, the office of treasurer.
I think that's a good.
I'm happy to do it. My schedule's changed, so I don't have a lot of time anymore, but somebody else would like to take
No
it.
time for comment. I second.
Anybody else want to find the treasurer? Okay, I'll move that the nominations are closed. Someone want to second that? Okay. All right, so we're going to change our letterhead. I found this here. Look at that. All right, clerk. Clerk's up for grabs. Now, clerk, there's a certain amount of status that goes with being the clerk. Think back through the ages of time. The clerks always were the one, and you were who the clerk was for John F. Kennedy, and who the clerk was for Robert Reagan.
Always known.
So that office there, I know that we've got a whole lot of people running for. But what, I think we'll open up the nominations just to see who would like to be the clerk.
I
can be like a big, right?
No, I second the nomination.
Steve, we got Steve's name. Anybody else?
Hold on, I have now. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be a student.
Okay, all right.
If y'all let me approach the school, getting student member on the council, then I have no problem with this. You gotta throw out the cards around the house.
A student member on the council? He can't be on the
Not
council.
on the council, just represented, but in other words, not a council member, but he would be from Agua Dulce, and would be honorary or however.
A student representative to the council?
Yes.
Like the school,
Like
as the school
the
board?
school board, it looks good on the resume, and it's great people to have research for you.
So we have a nomination for clerk with conditions.
No, just go ahead. I just was letting you know.
That's what you're going to try
In the next, I want to be given the opportunity.
to present that
Yeah,
as a
I don't want to
possibility.
go
last meeting, we talked about, the CSD committee might be the one to canvass, survey Rosie's area.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Instead of
that's
having
true.
the council, the
That's
committee
true.
can do it and bring the resources.
Yeah, because that actually
Because
involves.
they're part of that whole thing. I was wondering if Scott Keller might be interested in, joining me on the CSD revision committee. Just,
Because you're there.
yeah, because it affects you, but. if-
I'd be honored.
Oh,
Good
good.
answer.
That's a good like to hear around here. Okay. Perfect. All right, let's do it. Election. Do you know who's gonna be on the election committee?
Well, we still haven't gotten the final report. And I sent a nice request for Lou, for me to be nice, and we did.
I don't believe it.
So, I guess, Lorna continues on until she quits.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna pencil
Lorna
Lorna
in.
in pen here.
Who got bylaws?
Lou and me.
Okay.
Mary, are you saying that we did not get a final report from our committee?
Here, we did not officially recommend.
That is correct.
Is that right?
That is
You
correct.
saw the email I sent? Yes. Is
There was a report, but it wasn't the final report, and I was clear when I sent my nice note to Lorna saying, here's the bylaws, this is all the stuff that needs to be included. It needs to be signed, it needs to, all needs to be checked.
Is there anything I can do as a committee member? Or should I just wait until,
If you could contact Lorna and say,
I never did get her response, but I'll call her this time.
okay, call her and just say that, we're still waiting patiently,
Okay.
because we know that she'll come through.
Yes. Right.
Okay. Film committee. Anybody want to take that film committee?
I'll maintain it.
Okay.
You're doing a
Working
fine
well.
job.
This one's, and land use, this one I can see some going finer than Ed. Land use, anything up for that?
Happy to do it again.
Perfect.
Honored to do it.
Perfect.
Discuss
Parks and trails. Now, there's the tie.
I will continue on. Love Parks and Trails.
Thanks.
Too easy. Water stewardship?
Uh,
I
Hello.
know the phone numbers of the people. Hopefully we get some water this year.
Oh, speaking of that, Mary, did the, Knight's office call you back about the recent?
Patsy from Assemblyman Wilkes' office is planning on being here tonight to give us some information.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
All right, so I'll take water stewardship. Ways and means. I think we made great strides last year in ways and
And
means.
just keep it going.
I think we should, so I think
The two, Scott Keller and Troy Foster.
the two.
We'd be honored.
Got me $300 on the whole this time.
Yeah.
Like also with Lou, our team.
Inappropriate use of word.
It's the groups that would give up their money are supposed to donate, we actually donate, it'd be fine.
Disaster planning. I'm certain.
Gary will
that's
continue.
Gary, And he's got that.
Not a great job with that.
Someone knows if he's got something different or if he's.
Has Gary contacted you, or have you been able to contact
I,
Gary?
he's contacted me, but I haven't heard anything else about, a new meeting. I think the last one was canceled,
Okay.
and I haven't received an email as to when a new meeting was gonna be held to discuss, whatever.
Yeah, and I haven't, usually he copies us on that, and I haven't heard anything, so you haven't missed on anything, so. What I might do is get your email, so that if I get anything from Gary, I'll make sure to forward it to you.
Active Agua Dulce School Board Liaison. It's gotta be it. I'm happy to do it. Are you up for that? Okay.
He's honored.
All right. Acting Town Council Liaison. That's the fun.
Scott.
Well, it's kind of a roving position.
It was a road, we did make that a road.
Because you actually go to those meetings.
Can we nominate Rosie?
No, I am not going to go down there.
Don't you live in Acton?
Don't kill me.
Don't you live in Acton?
So
I
that,
live where I live, I'm not going to that town council meeting.
so we're going to have.
They don't like me down
There
there.
was this,
Is Rosie Scott?
So we'll leave it open? Or if anybody feels the desire to go to one of these meetings.
I
Actually,
know
you
somebody
what?
that's at every one of the meetings.
Exactly, Lillian can be our.
Ladies.
She is.
Just because I go to every single one of them,
Yeah.
I'll be.
No, because
She's the most informed.
She's happy to report.
That would be great. If you could just report, that's perfect.
Thank you.
I love it.
What a great idea.
And,
So what did you decide?
Lillian Smith will be our
Lillian.
representative.
And the Association of Rural Town Councils.
Let's do that roving,
I think we should do that.
rotation,
Okay. That we're gonna do.
'cause that's worthwhile.
And I don't know that they're really gonna have, and then, until they get a person to, and maybe that one person is gonna step forward.
Yeah.
So I can wait for the holidays to get through. But anyway, good, great. Okay, now we move on to item 11. And I'm sure everybody's got the charter and bylaws memorized, but if you don't, I brought a couple of copies. We're gonna do a little reading here. As is,
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
good evening.
This evening we finally got some sort of change in the weather here. It actually started to feel a little fallish, maybe a little bit of a winter breeze here. So just want to remind everybody to watch out for the rain. It sounds like we're going to get another decent sized storm, possibly Friday, and then maybe a little bit more next week. So we're hoping for rain, but be careful out there, certainly with respect to driving and speed and hazards that are unforeseen, things that just happen to fall on the road that weren't there before. So be careful, please. I wanted to give you some statistics for last month. Start off with collisions. And the Agua Dulce area, unincorporated streets and the adjacent freeways, there was a total of 32 traffic collisions reported to us in the month of November. Of those 32, 18 were reported to have caused injury. I reviewed briefly the reports that were in this area, those 32 reports, specifically the ones that had injury. There were no major injuries involved in those collisions. I think at most was maybe a fractured hand or something like that. Of those 32 collisions, there were 2 that were reported to be caused by someone driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And both of those did cause injury, but they were both solo vehicle traffic collisions, so the only injured party was the person who was driving under the influence. Last month, we had 6 DUI arrests. It was actually fairly quiet, that's what it seems like. And in regards to anything other than DUI, we had 1 misdemeanor arrest for hit and run, where our allied agency, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, happened to make a stop on the vehicle that was fleeing from the scene. We took the investigation on that one. And then we had 1 felony, which turns out it's great for training purposes. The one and only trainee officer that we've had in our area here for the last, I think it's been 3 years since we've had anybody here. And he and his mentoring officer there happened to be involved in a scuffle with somebody who was under the influence of drugs. Fortunate enough, there were no injuries on behalf of the officers, and they took the gentleman or person into custody and took him to jail where he needed to be. So that's all we have there. It's actually pretty quiet there. Last month it was brought to my attention that we wanted to address on behalf of the community to us, law enforcement, Sheriff's Department included too, in regards to safety during filming operations, and in particular those people that are actually involved in the filming, and the desire of the community to make sure that those people involved obey the traffic laws and the rules of the road just as anyone else should. So I addressed it with our liaison, who is representing the department at Film LA. Film LA is one that, I guess, issues the contracts for the Sheriff's Department, Highway Patrol, whatever other agencies to provide traffic control at these shoots. So he has made or will make mention of your concerns here, so they can be addressed there in some manner, where they establish those rules, where it be mandatory. If it isn't already, I don't know the set of rules, but if it isn't already in nature, that they mandate that officers be present during these safety briefings when these film shoots are going to, create a hazard to anybody in the motoring public or otherwise, and also to make sure that our officers enforce any laws that need to be enforced during that time of those operations there. So it'll be addressed with Film LA, and it will also be addressed with our department, and specifically our office here, by virtue of a briefing item, a set of rules that is actually set out to the officers that says, hey, look out for these things. So at least those two concerns will also be addressed there as well. So hopefully we won't see too much of that going on from here on out. And if there is, then there's a mode to correct the measure. So we took care of that. If there are any other concerns from here on out, anything happening, certainly address them to me, and then I'll forward that information to our supervisors and as well as Film LA if that seems to be happening still. I know I missed out on a couple of statistics here. These are actually still, they're not even for November, but October. Citations. Seems as though it's been quieting down towards the end of the year here, but maximum speed violations are probably about 50 out here in these areas. So, and again, that's October. Not sure, what'll change the figures there or not, but just out here in this area, about 50 in speed. Arrests seems to be a little bit lower than average, but if there are also no other crimes that are associated with those violations, then maybe it's a trend where we're actually seeing better behavior these days. So that's something I can state as a fact, but that's what it seems like. So yes.
Officer Marcus, when you said the 60 UIs, is that like within Agua Dulce house? Is that the freeway also?
Yeah, I think I've explained in the past before, our area responsibilities is broken down in two different ways. One is, and it's always referred to as a beat, it's either a line beat or an area beat. A line beat would be a simple, basically, a line, geographical line, like a freeway. Okay, so it's a freeway, so you have a beat going northbound and a beat going southbound, and they have intersecting streets or roadways or other things, or other measures that will break up the beats. So this person is assigned this beat, they've got this area of responsibility. So that's a line beat. An area beat is actually a two-dimensional grid, of an area that someone's covering. That's their area of responsibility. So out here we have an area beat which covers all these other small streets that are not covered by a line beat. Agua Dulce Canyon Road itself is a line beat. They want to collect statistics for that roadway in particular. Sierra Highway is a line beat because they want specific statistics for that roadway. But all these other streets, Darling, Davenport, and all these, they don't have a line beat. They're just kind of tied in with the area beat. So, in putting all the beats together that cover, in general, Agua Dulce, that's how we get up those stats. So 60 UIs for everything more or less from here, but it also takes into account the freeway, the adjacent freeway too. So.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
And
yes.
There was a hit that they were looking.
The motorcycle one that I brought up last time. Yeah. No results on that. No. Yeah. So, it's certainly a higher level crime, and if any information is ever obtained by anyone here, they can certainly bring it up to us, even though some time has passed. that information is always valuable, so. And just to refresh your memories, it was actually, we didn't have anything on that other than it was a four-door on the car, and it had, I believe it was going to be right side damage, and turned left right in front of the motorcycle on the broadside of the vehicle. So, and what it appeared as, from what the location where it occurred, the vehicle was heading back towards the Agua Dulce area, or maybe just the freeway. So, keep your eyes open. If you see anything suspicious like that, certainly report it to us. And if there's something else, I wish everybody the greatest holiday season, and you guys be careful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, basically you were asking about two bills. So one is the Assembly Bill 1739 that establishes open-ended fee authority for the development and implementation of groundwater plan costs in which could rise into billions of dollars, and also grants the water board in discretion to take over control of that and the local water basins. I'm losing my voice here. Okay, and the other one is the Senate bill. That's the one that is on our side, Assembly, but the other two are with the Senate. And then 1168 requires the adoption of sustainable water. I'm going to send this by mail to you. And so this is for all high and medium priority basins that are subject to critical conditions of overdraft by January 2022. And the thing with these bills are that they work together to create groundwater legislation as a whole, because, you know, also I was explaining that depending the use that you have is depending what Assembly bill or what Senate bill can be affected on your area. I'll be more than happy to share more of that on your following meeting. And if you have any particular question, I will be more also than happy that you share with me, and I'll bring those particular questions on those bills.
Could you give the number of the bills again, please?
Yes, it's
1168, 1319, and 1739.
1168.
1319.
Yeah, SB 1319, SB 1168,
1739.
and AD 1739.
Thank you.
So, shall we schedule you for a future meeting?
Yes, if you want,
Okay.
I can be here
Yeah,
in January.
just so we're clear, thank you very much for coming and explaining this, but what we're hoping for possibly is something beyond just the wording of the bill, because that's what that is. Maybe a deeper understanding about how this affects our wells, our local water wells, and our ownership over those.
Okay.
How these bills affect that, and more of a complex, you know, more of a maybe an in-depth kind of analysis of that is what we're hoping for.
Okay, so thank you for sharing that. So is there any other specific? I'll be more than happy to investigate and bring that for you.
Excellent.
God, I don't know if are you aware that everybody here is on their own private well?
Yes.
So, we don't have any piped in water from other communities, so it is obviously of utmost importance.
Once that affects us, our water rights, these things, that's what
Right,
the
because
object of alarm was.
we weren't really sure how globally
Okay.
this whole thing really was. If
Yeah.
it is for larger basins or specific basins,
For big
or
agricultural stuff,
Right.
industrial, or is it for, you know, the little residential or
Just
the little
your
small
property.
agricultural?
Oh,
Because we're zoned A2 and A1, so we're zoned agriculturally. So this is not like a residential area, right? So let's say if this bill has agricultural implications, right, and some resonating effects down the line, we'd like to maybe understand that.
Okay.
You're a resource for us, you know, to do that. We're trying to figure out how it affects us and how, you know, what different zonings, those types of things.
Okay. And when it's going to be effective to you?
Yeah, how it relates to us, but yeah.
All right.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
No, thank
We were a
you.
little shocked that they passed it without to speed and let us know
I
how.
mean, does your boss support these bills, or?
No, well, on the Senate bills, I don't know, but I will bring you that
Yeah,
detailed
I mean,
information.
his point of view on this would be very interesting too.
Sure.
And I think in just him trying to give us his point of view on this, he's gonna do a lot of research on it.
And that's why I wanted to come and hear your concerns, so I can get you more, and that's why I'm offering to come back and, fit you back and enter the specific.
That's great, we really appreciate it.
We
Thanks for
look
coming.
forward to working with you in the future.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course.